I'm Noah.
And I'm Marci.
We grew up watching Disney Channel, and every few months, a new Disney Channel original movie, or DCOM, would be released.
Since we were kids, we used to love getting snacks and watching new, sometimes relatable movies on our favorite channel.
Well, now we're not really kids anymore, but we thought that we could revisit our younger selves by rewatching all 110 DCOMs, and we want you to join us for the nostalgia.
So, every Friday, we're sitting down to discuss our thoughts and feelings on the DCOM of the week. So join us, the DCOM kids, as we recap Right on Track.
Got through that a little fast that time,
Yeah.
but I'm all right with it.
I think I cut something down a little bit.
That's okay. I'm not worried about it. We're close.
Yay!
Welcome to DCOM Kids, everybody. My name is been spoken already. I don't know why my instinct is to just say my name.
I don't know.
But well, it's fine.
All right.
Like Marci said in our intro, we are talking about Right on Track today, which is one of my favorite DCOMs,
Yes.
aside from Xenon. And I still don't know why Xenon is such a big hitter on my list, I guess I would say. Other than, like we kind of discussed, I really like space.
So much.
Storm.
My bad. I knew that was wrong as soon as I said it, and
It's okay.
Kirsten Storm.
Kirsten Storm, yeah. Kirsten Dunst is...
She's...
I want to say she was MJ in Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
She was also in Little Women. She played Amy.
Okay.
Young Amy.
There you go. Well, today we have some extra information because we have a couple of big hitters. I mean, we've had some big hitters on our cast list before, but I decided to be less lazy.
But we briefly mentioned, things with them.
I guess that's true.
Too, so.
But going forward, I want to do this a little more where at least the two main people get a little bit more out of my little spiel than just...
Sure. Than just
what
the
they did
stars
here. And what other
yeah.
DCOMs they've been in.
Yeah.
We're going to go into a little bit more. But
yes.
Before we get there, this film was released in 2003 and was based on the true story of the true real-life sisters, Erica and Courtney Enders. And actually, looking back a little bit, this was in 2003, and if I remember correctly, Erica Enders started racing in 1995.
Oh.
So this movie was not very far into her career. And I mean, she won. I get this. There's a little bit later on. I have some facts about them because, at the end, it tells you the facts of them. But that was 2003. It has literally been 22 years since then.
Yeah.
And Erica is still racing.
Yeah.
Not today because there's no races today, but this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
But anyway, it was written by Sally Nemeth, and Bruce Graham, and our cast features a few recognizable names, I would say.
Yes. Starting off, we have Beverly Mitchell, who played Erica Enders.
Brie Larson played Courtney Enders.
John Lindstorm played Greg Enders.
Jodie Russell played Janet Enders. I tried to give her own last name, not the Enders last name.
And Marcus Toji played Randy Jones.
There was one other person on the also I stopped using Google's cast because it's not giving me character names anymore.
Interesting.
And so I went over and just pulled this off of IMDb instead. And I mean, you can go into the full cast list and get more people, but these are there was 6 people that came up, but the sixth one was the 8-year-old Erica, which she was a fantastic actress, but
yes.
I don't know. Maybe we should talk about more of the characters, or more of the actors, but I don't know. I like to just stick with the primary cast and go from there. Yeah,
the focus of the group.
The only thing is, I'm not going to do it because it's too much effort, but looking back, I wish I had gone back and got the person who played Luann at least thrown in there as well, but I didn't do that, and I'm not going to do it now, unfortunately, because I'm lazy. And
I mean, I could quickly search it up.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to share some fun facts about Brie Larson and Beverly Mitchell. So Beverly Mitchell played Reverend Lucy Kinkirk. She was formerly Lucy Camden on Seventh Heaven, which is probably the only thing we really watched outside of Disney Channel.
Yeah.
We grew up on Seventh Heaven just as much as Disney, I would think. And she also appeared in other film and TV, such as Hollywood Darlings, alongside Full House's Jodie Sweetin, and she also directed and produced other media. Her directing credit says it's upcoming, so it didn't like list anything like what it actually is, but she is directing something like actively. So that's kind of cool to see her break out into that.
There is rumor that they're rebooting Seventh Heaven.
I would be totally okay with that. I wonder if that's her directing credit. It might be.
It might
But
be.
she's also produced several things that I didn't write down. And
Yeah.
one of the things that she produced or is producing is the same thing. It says whatever I said a second ago, like in progress or whatever.
Yeah.
So not actually anything
Upcoming.
listed, but yeah, upcoming
Yeah.
was the word I used. Thank you. And then of course, Brie Larson played Captain Marvel in the MCU.
Yes.
So, and what's so weird is like, I was getting this, right? I was getting the cast list as I do. And I was like, wait a second. Courtney was played by Brie Larson.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had ever heard Brie Larson's name before
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
And that's my fault for not being very well versed on
No, that's fine.
celebrities and stuff, but I also
didn't
don't
even
care. But so really cool. But what was funny is as soon as I read Brie Larson, I was like, I can see it.
Yeah.
Instantly realized like, I get you.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I do.
Okay.
Luann was played by Alexandra Trinidad.
You know what? I did read that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I dug deep enough, I might have been able to recall it because I remember reading Trinidad. And there's a place here in Colorado called Trinidad, Colorado. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, my grandparents used to own some land down there. And
looks like it's the only thing she's been in.
Interesting. But anyway, so the name stuck out to me. I guess technically, well, I guess I was supposed to end the characters if we went with Luann. I don't know. Go ahead.
That's
you go ahead with directors. Okay.
Okay. This one was directed by Dwayne Dunham.
Which is a returning director, but I can't remember what from.
All kinds of things.
And then we have master DCOM composer Phil Marshall.
Yes.
He has returned again.
We have our editor, Jim Oliver.
Which sounds like a new name, but I could be wrong. And then our cinematography was Robert Seaman, which the last name at least sounds familiar. I feel like the name also, like Robert, I feel like Robert Seaman sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar, but
I could be wrong.
Could be from other parts of life, I guess.
True.
Could not be related to this whatsoever.
Yeah. This worked out perfectly.
Yes.
Go ahead with that Disney Plus summary.
Okay. Disney Plus summary. When Erica Enders enters the male-dominated world of junior drag racing at the age of 8, she quickly becomes a force to be reckoned with on the drag strip. Once Erica's sister Courtney follows in her footsteps, it isn't long before Enders is a household name in the kids' drag racing world. But life on the track isn't without challenges as the sisters face fierce competitors who'd rather not have girls winning in their sport. Do you want me to say this fun fact?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoops.
Don't change that.
What did I do?
Nope. I think you just need to backspace the E and the Y there. I think that word's just supposed to be the.
Okay,
Maybe
be.
not.
Fun fact. Noah shares a middle name with Erica Enders.
That is a fun fact. If you're Noah and you share a middle name with Erica Enders.
You want to know a fun fact?
Yeah.
About me and my name?
Yeah. You share a name with nobody.
That's not true. I share a name with my great-grandmother. And my grandma.
Okay.
But my last name is the only name that I will ever be able to find on a keychain.
Fair.
So.
For now.
No, it'll still be.
You found it his. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're good.
I'm fine. Only my last name, though.
That's all right. It's
Thanks,
because
Mom.
we spell everything weird in our family anyway. Raylan and Lauren face the same issue with the first name, at least.
Well, even Marci with a Y you can't find anywhere. It's such a rare name.
Sucks to suck, I suppose.
Anywho.
All right, here we go. On to our scene by scene. This high-speed motion picture begins with a garage door opening as as Greg Enders rolls his dragster out with Erica Enders sitting in the driver's seat. After she wins the fictional race, she begs to go with her dad to the race, but to no avail. He pulls out of the driveway as Erica waves him off and shouts what will become their catchphrase. Rock and roll. They say monkey later on, but she says, rock and roll, daddy, stick 'em.
Yeah. Some neighbor boys roll up and give Erica a hard time for still having training wheels, and we begin a back and forth as Greg sets up for his race and Erica sets up for her own bicycle race against the arrogant boys. In unison, both races begin, and Erica's training wheels fall off of her bike to show that she is really going quite fast. And just as quick as it began, both races conclude with the Enders coming out victorious.
We cut to an elementary classroom where the students are building clay models. Goofy-looking birds, dragons, and people-like things. Then Erica, who has opted to construct a 4-link dragster, 1,000 horsepower, a 235-inch wheelbase, and it weighs 1,700 pounds, and it's capable of going 180 miles per hour. Erica is clearly well-versed in the world of drag racing, and the info all but flew right over the teacher's head.
As we cut into the family kitchen at home, Erica pleads with her mom to let her race in the new junior drag racing division. Dad is clearly on Erica's side, but that isn't very helpful, and Erica's little sister Courtney reminds them it is still dangerous. As the girls go off to bed, Mom and Dad have a discussion, and it seems Dad is yet unable to convince Mom it is safe. That's when we cut to the racetrack, and as Erica gets her approval from the officials, we are delighted to find out Mom was indeed convinced.
After getting a hard time from another father, Greg is certain Erica is up for the task. She rolls her pink and black dragster to the staging lane. I forgot my own vernacular. To the staging lane, and we get another rock and roll monkey stick 'em from Dad. She prepares for her first race against, and the announcer declares Eric Enders in lane 2, but is corrected by Janet. In the next lane, we get a glimpse at Randy Jones, who will eventually become Erica's best friend. The lights on the tree drop, and Erica comes out on top, beating Randy, but at least he did his best.
After collecting her trophy, Erica catches a glimpse at the national champions trophy and tells her dad that she will win it one day. We jump ahead 7 years when Erica is being introduced to her new dragster, and Greg forms a verbal contract with both Erica and Courtney, requiring them to maintain their grades. A's, they can race out of state. B's, they have to stay in Houston, but any C's and their cars are parked. The girls agree to the terms, and we head back to another race with Erica at her first race in her new group. Here we see Erica line up opposite Jordy, whose father isn't liking the fact that a girl is in the sport. Probably because it would hurt his tender ego if his son got bested by a girl.
Close enough.
Sorry.
Jordy unfortunately beats Erica in their race and goes on to win the day. While they are loading up the car to head home, Greg encourages Erica to congratulate Jordy, and she does. But Jordy's dad, who is a real, you can fill in the blank. I did not finish that thought. Well, okay, so Jordy's dad is a something, and basically calls her a loser and said girls don't belong in the sport. That is, I didn't even finish writing a thought. Yeah. Back at home, Erica is practicing her reaction time on a handheld device, trying to get a 5-millisecond reaction. Janet enters and tells Erica it's time for bed, but she opens up about how she feels at home in the driver's seat of a race car, and she feels like there's something wrong with her. But Janet reminds her there's more to life than winning.
The next morning, Courtney sits in Erica's car. When Erica enters, Courtney revels in the idea of the two sisters racing against each other. But Erica doesn't want to, because she will either beat a little kid or get beat by a little kid, and that's just no good for her. Kinda hypocritical in Noah's opinion, because like the boys are like, I either beat a girl or you get beat by a girl, and in this context, kind of the same thing, no?
Am I wrong about that?
No,
That's fine.
you're actually accurate.
I think it's always funny when things like reflect like that in movies, right? Where she's like, all the boys think I'm just a girl and I can't race, and like, well, you think your sister's just a little kid and can't race. So I mean, like,
it's kind of the same thing.
Granted,
for sure,
one of them I feel like is a much bigger problem than the other.
Yeah,
but like, still, kind of the same thing there.
Yeah. Anyway, we later join Erica in her French class, where she is passed a note inviting her to a party on Saturday, but unfortunately she can't go as she has a race that day.
Returning to the racetrack that weekend, Courtney rolls up to the staging line and blasts off, beating her opponent. Although Erica is excited at first, the track announcer declares that Courtney has beat Erica's track record and instantly wipes a smile off of Erica's face. Back at the RV, a sports reporter knocks on the door to interview Courtney, further upsetting Erica.
Needing to vent, Erica and Randy grab some lunch, and she lets out her frustration that Courtney doesn't work as hard as her, but is just as good, and Randy tells her that she had the advantage of having an older sister to learn from. This revelation brings Erica's boil down to a light simmer as they change the subject to their dating lives, which is non-existent for both. Another jump to school where Erica stretches to prepare for volleyball tryouts and drools over one of the boys playing basketball.
Todd.
After a couple of popular girls smack talk Erica's athleticism, Erica retorts and spikes a ball with a tremendous amount of force and shuts the girls up in an instant.
Probably should have just said instantly, but it's fine.
It's fine.
At home that night, Greg works on something I assume having to do with finances, and Erica storms in holding a magazine emblazoned with Jordy's car. She is nearly equal to Jordy, but can't seem to get a sponsor. After speaking her piece about the unfairness, Greg agrees to try and find her one. Another day goes by, and Greg returns home from the sponsorship meeting, but has no good news to share. No one wants to sponsor her because she's a girl. Greg encourages her to just keep racing, and eventually something will come up.
At volleyball practice, Erica falls into a ball cart and hurts her shoulder, but refuses to get medical attention as her parents wouldn't let her race if they knew she was injured. Later that night, Erica is fast asleep in her bed with a large ice pack under her sleeve. When Janet enters to turn off the girl's light, she discovers the bruise and confronts Greg about pushing her too hard. But Greg counters that she is the one pushing herself because she is passionate about the sport. He reassures her that if either girl wants to quit, they can.
The next weekend at the track, Jordy makes another appearance. He's been sent down by his sponsor to prepare for the Nationals, but gives a little jab at the fact that he doesn't think anyone racing here is much competition at all. Erica is determined to beat him this time, and Randy encourages her not to take things personally. Later on, Jordy takes to the track for his time trial as Erica watches intently and declares she can beat his time. So she lines up. The lights drop down the tree, and she puts up an 8.89, 2 100ths faster than Jordy. While headed back to their pits, Erica asks her dad to stop by Jordy's pit to give him payback for their last encounter, but Greg isn't happy with her actions. He reminds her that they are both better. He reminds her that they are better than that, and it's not worth stooping to their level.
We jump ahead to the race that will once again put Erica against Jordy, and as the two cars rocket off, Erica jumps the start automatically, giving Jordy the win. After in French class, Erica is distracted by her reaction time device, and once the teacher catches it, he confiscates it. Another day at the racetrack, Greg and Courtney are approached by a representative of Team Pennzoil and informs them that if Erica shows well, you
read it right.
He thinks he can get her a sponsor. We cut to the starting line, and just as the lights are about to drop on the tree, Randy notices oil leaking under the car and attempts to call off the race, but it's too late. The light goes green, and she launches down the track.
The throttle sticks and the ignition won't shut off, sending Erica sailing into the runoff track. The track paramedics quickly help to remove Erica from the car, and she is airlifted to the hospital. There, Janet gives Greg a hard time for the accident and doesn't want to see it happen again. The doctor exits and informs the family she is going to be just fine. Although she's clearly in pain, Erica's only desire is to get back to the track and race again. Once they're back at the track, Randy confirms the car is ready to race, and Erica pleads to make another run before they head home. Janet reluctantly agrees, and Greg takes Erica down to the track.
Determined to not allow the crash to scare her off, Erica climbs into the car. The rep for Pennzoil sees her and watches as she prepares to make another run only hours after crashing. The lights on the tree drop, and Erica blazes down the track. That night, the family is having dinner and discuss who will get the new car when Courtney enters Erica's division. My favorite line...
sorry. That's mine.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My favorite line is right here, when Randy asks for wasabi to put on his burger. It's something different.
It's something different. Yes. Just then, Mr. Coleman, the Pennzoil rep, knocks at the door.
Once inside, Coleman gives his pitch and asks if she wants the sponsorship. She issues her confusion about how they only offered to sponsor her after she crashed. That's when she learns that he had spoken to Greg earlier. She rolls her eyes, but offers a counter to the sponsorship deal. They have to sponsor Courtney as well. Coleman agrees, and we jump into a photo shoot of the girls. Later at the track, Erica gives Courtney the same speech Greg gave her about the new car being faster and more sensitive. We then jump into a montage of the girls, race after race, win after win, all culminating to an autograph session where Erica meets a little girl who tells her she wants to race someday too.
We cut to another day in the future where Erica is about to take her driving test. The instructor informs her the test is timed, and she races through the driving course. At the end, she is awarded her license, but I'm not convinced she would have in real life. Probably not.
Probably not.
In the gym another day, Luann encourages Erica to take Todd to a skate date thing. But just as Todd starts to approach Erica, he is distracted by the popular girls from earlier, and she decides to ask someone else. Later we find out she asked Randy, who admits he's never skated before.
At the ice rink, the two are dropped off on the ice by an ice taxi thing, and I have never wanted to ride in anything so bad.
Same.
After the festivities have ended, Erica and Randy exit the pavilion, and the popular girls are having trouble with their car. They ask Erica to help them, and her and Randy get the car running. Just as they finish, Todd invites them to an after party, but they kindly reject. When dropping Randy off at his house, he asks if they could go on a real date, and Erica informs him she sees him more as a brother. He's kind of disappointed, but gets out of the truck, jokingly asking her to set him up with Luann.
The next morning at school, the French teacher is handing back tests, and Erica eagerly awaits hers. She turns it over to find she received a B, meaning she won't be able to race outside of Houston. Back at home, Greg and Janet tell her that she has to get the grade up. They won't let her slip on the deal they made before. She takes to studying at the school library, where Todd offers to help her, and we hear the two go back and forth repeating words in French and get progressively more flirty. After all the studying, sorry, I put the comma in the wrong spot. After all the studying, Todd asks her to have dinner that week.
That's supposed to be one word. That's my bad.
Sorry. Asks her to have dinner that weekend, but because of racing, she has to decline. As she is getting ready to get in her truck, Luann gifts her the answers to the French final.
Bum-dum-bum. Next, we see the volleyball team win their most recent game, which puts them in the finals. The finals are on Saturday, but the races are on Friday. Rest assured, if they leave right away from the races, they will make it to the game on time. But of course, car troubles intervene, and she doesn't make it until right after the game ends. Everyone is angry at her for missing the game, but like it wasn't her fault. The coach makes me mad because she's like, "We expected more out of you. What was she supposed to do? Get the dragster out of the back and drive it there?
Right? Like, it's not a long distance car.
Honestly. So anyway, we are back at the Enders' home where Erica studies for her final. Feeling quite upset and defeated, she packs up all of her trophies and tells Greg she doesn't want to race anymore. She confesses her racing schedule is keeping her from having a boyfriend, and she is very overwhelmed.
Greg is surprised but supportive of her decision and reminds her that he and Janet will always be there for her. We skip? Dip? Did you mean dip?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. I'm going to say we dip to the next day.
Oh, I think I wrote dip because, like, we dip to black, which means, like, it kind of fades to black and then fades back in.
Okay.
It wasn't really a cross dissolve. Kind of like a dip to black. But okay. I use my editing vernacular in here a couple times.
Okay.
That's me. That's you.
Dip to the next day, and as she asks Todd out and tells him she quit racing. Fast forward to the test, and she finishes confident but unsure. Later, Greg, Randy, and Courtney load up and head to the track for another race weekend, this time without Erica. At the track, Courtney wins a race, and we cut to Erica, bored on the couch. Then back to the racing, where they are now watching oval races, and back to Erica staring at her trophies, and back again.
Yep, good job.
To Courtney winning another race. This all comes to a head when Greg, Courtney, and Randy arrive back home, and Courtney is clearly upset at Erica.
When back at French class, Erica gets the grade back for her French final, and she got an A. This leads her to change her mind about racing and returns to the track, where she qualifies for a trip to the finals. On her board, she sees she has no races left, but wants to make another pass. That's where Courtney enters and suggests the two of them race, out of competition, of course. The two line up and wait for the lights, then both rocket off the line. Holding neck and neck most of the way, Courtney randomly decides to go faster and does. So she beats Erica. At the finish line, they decide to try again. Lining up once again, the same story as before. They blast off, hold neck and neck until this time Erica decides to go faster and wins. That's the thing that drives me nuts about some of these movies.
Yeah.
Like it happens in like any movie having to do with racing, really.
Yeah.
Is that the driver just goes, I think I'm going to go faster now. And then they just do. I'm like,
that's not how cars work.
Right? Especially these
dragsters.
These junior dragsters specifically.
Yeah.
They have one gear.
Yeah.
Right? All this like pulling ahead and fading back and pulling ahead and fading back would not happen.
No.
You push the gas and that thing accelerates to its max and then stays there.
Yeah.
There is no like, oh, I'm a little faster. Oh, I'm a little slower now.
Yeah.
I'm a little faster now. And then, but like the thing that drove me nuts watching this is they're just like, I think I'll go faster and win this time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that's the logic here, why didn't she just decide to go faster every time?
all the time? Yeah. For real.
Anyway.
On the ride home, the girls rest in their bed, and Erica thanks Courtney for her advice. Another morning,
I didn't even talk about her advice.
Another morning, Erica is making herself a bagel and sees a report on the upcoming nationals where she is spotlighted and reminded she will once again have to face Jordy. Just then, a knock at the door, and Courtney answers it. It's Todd. He asks to see Erica and waits patiently outside as Greg stares him down. Once Erica finally comes to the door, Todd gives her a teddy bear as a good luck present. Greg looks very defensive, but is calmed down by Janet.
Next thing we know, Courtney and Erica are rocking out in Erica's truck as they follow the team trailer on the long road to Phoenix. We arrive at the track, and Erica and Courtney see a large group of girls cheering her on. Next, we enter the media center, where every reporter asks Erica how it feels being the only female to make it to the finals, which is obviously getting annoying. We jump to a race at the end of the day, and Erica easily wins, because she decided to go faster. But just when the road to the finals seems clear, Jordy's dad convinces the commissioner that the Enders are cheating, as Erica has had several near-perfect reaction times and gets the officials to tear apart her dragster to investigate. After several hours, they obviously don't find anything illegal in the car, and they greenlight Erica for the race.
Bearing.
Bearing, I guess. Bearing further... Being, for instance, there's an R in there that's not supposed to be there. Being further accused by Jordy's dad, Greg confesses they do have something that he doesn't in his car. A teenage girl.
While getting rest the night before the finals, Courtney wakes up Erica to thank her for being bold and paving the way for girls to break into the world of drag racing. We jump to the next morning where Randy, who has painstakingly rechecked, thank you, the car, was put back together, fell asleep in the driver's seat of the car, but he has a bit of trouble getting out because comedy. Down on the starting line, Jordy and Erica prepare for their big race to determine the national champion. They climb into their cars, start their engines, and get their pep talks from their fathers.
Erica's mind races, and she jumps a little bit, but is rolled back. She channels Courtney and takes several deep breaths. She calms down, the lights on the tree fall, and they rocket off. And they're off like rockets. I said it differently that time. Okay. After trading the lead back and forth, which is, again, unrealistic, at the end of the strip, Erica is victorious. Jordy is upset at first, but decides to be kind and congratulates her. On the podium, Erica receives the very trophy she told her father she would win when she was 8. She invites Courtney onto the stage to celebrate with her, and we enter a montage featuring facts about Erica and Courtney's lives after the events of the film. We could just go back and forth on these. Okay.
Erica Enders was voted the National Hot Rod Association's Rookie of the Year in 2001.
This is random, and it kind of matters.
Okay.
But on her Wikipedia page, it says 2000. Oh. But I'm assuming Disney's information is probably right. Whatever. That was a random thought. Yeah. She has won 37 junior drag racing titles. She
attended college at Texas A&M University.
Courtney Enders has won 26 junior drag racing competitions. And of course, these are super outdated as the movie came out only 2 years after Erica got the Rookie of the Year, so a lot has happened. Such as, Erica Enders has won 6 Pro Mod championships as of 2023.
In 2006, Enders becomes the first woman to qualify number 1 in Pro Stock.
She currently holds both sides of the NHRA national record for Pro Stock, 6.46 seconds, and 215.55 miles per hour, set at Englishtown, New Jersey in 2014.
In 2018, she began driving a pro modified entry for Elite Motorsports, a twin-turbo 2019 Camaro. She also holds the class record for fastest speed at 261 miles per hour.
I did not know that both of those records still stand today.
Really?
I did. I knew that she had I knew that she at one point had the Pro Stock record, the fastest pass by time and the fastest pass by speed, which are not mutually exclusive. Those two things can be held by different people because you can get down the track faster but going a slower mile per hour. It all depends on how fast you got up to speed.
Yeah.
But she holds both records. And I did not know that the one she set in 2019, which I watched it happen on television.
Really?
It's like one of the very few NHRA races that I watched in 2019. And I watched her set this record.
That's amazing.
At 216 miles per hour, which is the fastest pass for a pro mod, which has changed. They changed the names over the years because it used to be called Pro Stock and now it's called Pro Mod. And I don't really know what the difference is. Actually, I guess we could deduce Pro Stock would suggest that it is stock. So the motor that you would get in that Camaro would be the same motor you would get in a production Camaro that you could go buy from the dealership, whereas a Pro Mod would be that motor with modifications.
Gotcha.
Anywho, there's a lot of dying grass there.
Hey, it's okay.
I don't know a lot, but I know a lot.
You know a lot more than me.
Yeah, I have a decent amount of information and knowledge on this. I remember watching this with Andrew. I don't know if this is what sparked his love for drag racing, but probably being exposed to this movie in 2003 helped.
Yeah.
And I hope he gets to drag race soon again because
Yeah.
he hasn't done it in a long time.
He hasn't done
I
it
hope
in
he
a
gets
very
to.
long
He has a
time,
car.
yeah.
He has to finish building it
does?
and then he can race. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they're actually, this is not information that matters, but they're coming out this weekend, and that's one of the main things they're coming out for is to get
Oh.
Beth's race car.
Nice. Okay.
So hopefully they can do some racing soon.
Awesome.
Anyway, let's jump on into our favorite scene.
You go first because I always go first.
You do always go first. I will go first. Thank you. My favorite scene. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I really like the scene where she goes and throws the box of tissues at Jordy.
Yeah.
Because it's a callback to
Yeah.
their very first race when I don't know what Jordy's dad's name is, but when Jordy's dad says to Greg, and he's like, "Is she gonna cry when my little boy beats her?"
Yeah.
Right? And then
Yeah.
she throws him the tissues, and this is like, "For when I beat him."
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she red lights and loses, but it's fine.
Hey.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. I do like that scene too.
I do
Yeah.
agree that like you don't take it to their level.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna be the jerks, let them be the jerks, and we can
Yeah.
be the bigger people.
Exactly.
But I did still think it was funny.
I thought it was funny too.
And then my other favorite scene is Randy asking for wasabi on his burger.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Also baked beans.
They're all like, "What?"
The thing that was funny to me is that they're like, he asked for baked beans,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine to be on the burger. I'm assuming it was on the plate,
Yeah.
but I would assumed that the wasabi would be on the plate too. I wasn't assuming he was putting the wasabi on his burger. But if we are assuming he's putting the wasabi on his burger, I have to assume he put the beans on his burger as well.
Yeah.
And that's going to be messy.
And that's
I also love that scene because he's sitting up in like the loft
yeah.
eating and they're all at the table.
They're all at the
And I'm
table.
like, when you're a part of the family, but you're kind of just the
But
dog.
you're not- That's a good
So,
point. That's a good point.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But those are my two favorite scenes of this
Yeah.
movie. The whole movie's my favorite scene.
The whole movie. So you sound like me now.
Yeah. No, I guess, what's the word? Honorable mention
Mm-hmm.
is the beginning when she races the training wheels off her bike.
I was just gonna say that was my favorite.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
You
Honorable
have to pick a
mention-
new favorite now.
Dang it.
But I think,
okay.
because what's the accurate thing that's happening there is that
Mhm.
those training wheels were not very securely fastened.
Nope. Nope. She didn't actually
And
need them.
if anyone knows how training wheels are attached to a bicycle, it means that the back tire is also not securely fastened to that bicycle.
That's true.
So
yeah.
there you go.
There you go.
Okay, you get to go. You have to pick a new one.
Okay. Gosh.
But don't leave any dead air.
Okay.
So like talk about your thought process.
My thought process. Okay.
Or just let me
No.
speak and
I
tell you to
just-
think about your thought process.
No, I just love all the scenes that Courtney and Erica are in together.
Hmm.
Just like as a sister, with a sister who
Hmm.
we both did like okay, me and Lauren both did dance,
right.
right? And there was a time where it was just my thing,
Yeah.
but then Lauren also came in to do it, and like
Yeah.
she got to do more than me, but
Yeah.
it's because she started younger
was
than me.
was there a similar like jealousy in you at times? Oh, okay.
I was never jealous of Lauren.
Thanks for the drama.
But-
Oh my gosh, this podcast rating just dropped.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was so jealous of her because it wasn't fair. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No, I mean like she's stronger in different styles than me.
fair.
So whereas with drag racing, like it's all the same thing basically,
Kinda.
kind of. But like with dancers, like a billion different styles.
Right.
So
that's a
like
good
we
point.
each have our own strong suits. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze.
That's okay. You can sneeze.
Yeah, and they like their heart to heart in the car in the RV when I can't remember where they're driving back
I
from.
think they're driving back from the race where she qualifies.
I think so. Yeah. When they have their little heart to heart moment. And
Yeah,
yeah.
that is such a
This-
sweet moment.
I just love the sisters together.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Any rating? We have to give it a rating. I don't know.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Would
Well, we're racing
recommend.
at a 5, so 5 out of 5. I'm not
5 out
allowing
of-
this one to go outside
Okay.
of the range.
5 out of 5.
That's reserved for very specific movies.
Xenon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, if any other movie was going to, this might be it.
This
But
is definitely
I'm
it,
just
yeah.
the only reason I'm drawing a hard line is because if I let a couple of things slip, we're gonna start.
We're just
letting
going to let
slip.
everything.
and then it's gonna
Yeah.
super offset like some scores because some
everything.
things got scores that were 5 out of 5, but it should have been more because we're letting
Yeah.
things go outside of the 5. So
Yeah.
we'll let it be a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Very
would
good.
recommend.
And I don't know. I love
Yeah.
racing. I'm more of an oval track personally.
Mhm.
I do enjoy drag racing.
Yeah.
If I had more free time and could just go do things, I would probably go watch. Well, not anymore because our local Bandimere Speedway's shut down.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
They sold the land to a developer, and they're gonna basically put houses and apartments or something on the hillside,
That sucks.
on Thunder Mountain. Hopefully, like they at least name the development like
Bandimere.
the village at Thunder Mountain or something like that.
Yeah.
And they probably won't call it Bandimere, and that's fine. But Bandimere's
Right, 'cause
nickname was
that's-
Thunder Mountain.
Yeah. Because Bandimere is the people who, the last name of the people who owned it, right?
Yeah. So they probably won't give them an homage, but as long as we get one that's like the village at Thunder Mountain, I'll be
Thunder
happy
Mountain
with that.
Village.
They,
That'll be cool.
I believe they have made a purchase for land, and they're going to start building a new speedway. The plan was always to rebuild the speedway elsewhere. The main thing is they kind of ended up having to sell it because so many developers built across the street from it.
Oh, okay.
And even though you sign contracts when you buy a house next to the racetrack that says, I understand I'm buying a house next to a racetrack, nonstop.
Yeah.
People getting angry because it's Thunder Mountain, and I'm like it's gonna be loud.
There's a racetrack right there. What did you expect?
Exactly. And it's the same thing with people who bought houses right next to DIA. They complain about aircraft noise, and I'm like, you bought a house next to an airport. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Now the difference there is you can't really just pack up the largest airport in the world, and move it.
Right. You can pack up a
quarter mile drag strip.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think I was gonna say I don't think I've dyed grass that hard recently, but I definitely have.
We definitely have. That's okay.
That's okay. So yeah, 5 out of 5. That's okay. I guess those would count as my last thoughts. Oh, except I was gonna say I do like oval tracking racing more.
Yeah. But that's what we grew up with NASCAR.
For sure.
Every Sunday.
And I'm kind of bummed that there isn't a NASCAR DCOM, but whatever. It's fine. There is a movie about short track racing called Short Track. And it is one of my favorite racing movies, aside from like Days of Thunder and Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. But awesome. Right on, guys. Well, this Monday, Adriana and I will be live on YouTube at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time to give you guys a new episode of Noah Parker's World of Wonder. But then the next day, on Tuesday, we are... Oh, actually... I am closing on Monday night, so maybe I will not be live streaming on Monday. We might have to record that episode early in the day and just put it out later. Oops. Anyway, I just realized that. But on Tuesday, we are heading to Disneyland, so we will not have an episode we will not have a live stream game night. We do intend to live stream in Disneyland, so there will still be a live stream out there. I think the original plan is... I think we're planning on moving it up. So instead of doing it at 8 o'clock Mountain Time, we'll probably try to do it at like 6 o'clock, which is actually 5 o'clock where we'll be, but it'll be 6 o'clock Mountain Time. I like to try to keep it to Mountain Time because it stays consistent across the board. And then me and Marci have discussed before this episode began recording, we will likely not have a new episode of DCOM Kids next week. Because we just don't think we can get our schedules to line up to be able to record before we leave again. Or before I leave.
I'm stuck here.
But we do intend on re-releasing a new episode on the podcast platforms, at least. Not a new episode, a old episode.
Previously recorded.
Yeah, we're going to rerun Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. We're going to redo a couple things. We're going to revamp it to be more... more like this. I guess not revamp it because the episode is what it is, but we're going to re-record an intro so it at least matches the intro style, and it'll have the exit music as this one does. But that was pretty early on in the podcast that we did that, so the format is totally different.
Yeah, it's going to feel a little chaotic.
Yeah, it's basically just Marci and I recapping the script almost verbatim, and that is why we went to the format we have now, because we got super carried away and it was super long, but that is what you can look forward to. But rest assured, after that, the following week, we will be back to normal schedules with normal live streams, maybe moving live streams up a little bit earlier in the day, just because my Florida peeps, it's 10 o'clock for them when we live stream. And
that's true.
Although a couple of them don't mind it, a couple of them would prefer it was earlier. So I think for the summer, we're going to move to an earlier time, and that'll all come probably a little bit later on, where we actually make like formal announcements and all that good stuff. And I think that's all I got.
Cool.
Right on. Make sure you follow us on our social medias, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at Noah Parker's World of Wonder. If you are listening to the audio-only version of this podcast and you want to see my beautiful face and Marci's beautifuler face, I guess. I didn't want to insult you.
You can insult me. It's fine.
I don't want to. You can head over to youtube.com/Noah Parker_channel where you can get the video version. And if you are the opposite, you are watching us on YouTube and you want the audio only version because you're tired of looking at our beautiful faces, you can head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and iHeart Podcasts and search for Noah Parker's World of Wonder. Make sure you set those to download automatically. And every time the episode comes out, it comes out at 6 a.m. Mountain Time. So you're basically ready to roll when you're heading to work wherever you are.
Hopefully.
We'll see you at some point on Monday. It'll probably, I guess it won't be live streamed because that's going to be kind of impossible to do if I'm working. I guess not impossible.
Live stream from work.
I could, but I probably shouldn't. So thank you guys so much for watching today. We hope you join us next time. But until then, let the wonder take hold.